Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Untitled Tarot, and welcome to your general readings for the sign in the title below, because it's a bulk introduction, for the supermoon, full moon in Scorpio on the 26th or 27th of month we're in, April, for wherever you are in the world. Here in Britain it's on the 27th, in America it's mainly on the 26th. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the astrology of this because I'll be live streaming 6 p.m. UK time, so 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on YouTube with astrologer David Fisher. We'll go through the astrology then. As ever, general reading rules apply. Timing is not absolute. This is an interesting full moon. I think I tend to look at these readings as looking over the lunar cycle or half lunar cycle, if you know what I mean, from full moon to full moon, rather than new to new. So we'll see how long that they last. You should hopefully pick up the energies from them. If someone else appears in the readings, roles can get reversed. Doesn't very often happen in the spread that I'm using. But as I say, timing is far from absolute is the main point here. So, as ever, I would like you to hit that like button if you like the reading, or if you like the video even. No, the reading might not be so hot. And feel free to subscribe to the channel while you're here, because it really does help. I think that's it for my housekeeping. The reason I do a bulk introduction with a timestamp in the description below, so that you can fast forward to the reading, don't do it yet, is I would like to watch your sun, your moon and your rising. And you don't need to listen to me waffle 3 times over. You know what I mean? So there is a timestamp below if you're wanting to fast forward if this is your second or third time round. And there is a link to the Facebook page for this channel, where I post these videos, obviously, because I do not trust YouTube notifications. But I also post the weather report style astrology YouTube videos that I watch, so you can learn along with me, and I try to make it a bit of a one-stop shop. So anyway, I think that's everything. Oh yeah, if you don't know your moon or your rising sign, there's a link down there for there's 2 links: free birth charts, AstroSeek or Cafe Astrology. I'm now tending more towards using the AstroSeek, just because I know what I'm doing a little bit more, and there's so much you can get the chart to be presented the way you want it to be. So this full moon, it's an interesting one. It's ruled by the angel Jeliel. 7 degrees Scorpio is ruled by the angel Jeliel, who represents recapturing the spark and love and wisdom. Now, that recapturing the spark could mean the passion for a project, a field of research, or a person, you know. So there is that whole romantic element to it. There is a lot of, if you look into the positions of the planets and the degrees that they're holding and the degree symbols and what have you, there is a lot of sexual energy in this full moon, which figures with us just coming off the back of that Venus-Uranus conjunction, although again, that's about more than just relationships and sex lives. But what I've also found is interesting is the relationship to other new moons. Being in Scorpio, it represents transformation. Now, the moon, if my notes are correct, is in its fall in Scorpio anyway. But it's also, being in Scorpio, traditionally ruled by Mars. And Mars is just gone into Cancer. So the moon and Mars are in mutual reception. They're amping each other up. So I think there's any transformations that are begun more under or that are ongoing, I think it would be an even better way to put it, will have that little bit extra oomph. Now, Scorpio under modern rulership is ruled by Pluto. As we know, Pluto's still in Capricorn. But 7 degrees Scorpio is the site of the Pluto of harmonic convergence, which, if you know your hippie woo-woo, then that was a big event in the late, oh, I didn't write the date down, 87, 88, where there was this opening of all new energies coming onto the planet. So I think it's quite significant where this full moon is potentially giving us a chance to actually use those energies now. We've had plenty enough time since the 80s, late 80s, to assimilate to them. It's about time we use them. And also, the other thing I noticed is that it's on Aleister Crowley's Jupiter. Now, there was something else that was like really hocus pocusy with this full moon. I didn't write it down. I've forgotten what it was. But I would imagine this full moon would be great for full moon rituals. However, watch every single astrology forecast video I've posted on that YouTube page first. Do your research. Make sure that what you would be magically working towards, creatively visualizing, sat with a candle, what have you, is in line with the astrological energies that are there. Because I noticed the closer we get to the full moon, the astrologers' descriptions of this full moon are getting nicer and nicer. And there are some beautiful aspects to it. But there are also some quite traumatic aspects as well. So be careful what you ask for, because you might just get it. I think it's the, sometimes the genie is best left in the bottle. That's something that I think you really need to pay some attention to. Myself, I'm not planning any hocus pocus for the full moon this time. I'm just going to sit and let, I suppose the phrase would be trust the process. Allow the transformation energies to unfurl. Because for me, I was alive during harmonic convergence. So for me, this is really, really important. And it being on Aleister Crowley's Jupiter makes me think that magic at this time has a high chance of getting bigger. But it's Crowley, it's double-edged. Do you know what I mean? So you be very, very careful what you ask for. Now, I've also been reading a lot about Franz Baden and the entities he calls the degree heads, who are entities that inhabit each individual degree of the zodiac and can be evoked just like any spiritual entity or magical entity can be evoked, if you know about your evocation. Now, this one is, let me pronounce it correctly, Amelie. Now, Amelie, here's the description, protects man against all infectious diseases and causes him to look after himself so that he is at any time able to resist infection. If karmic reasons make it necessary, or if it lies in one's fate, this head, i.e. the entity Amelie, will not prevent an infection. Amelie teaches the magician many means of protection against the most diverse types of infectious diseases from the magical point of view. Since there exists also the possibility of mental or astral influences, Amelie also instructs the magician in this respect. He teaches him how to protect himself after having been made acquainted with special magical practices against negative astral influences and against influences of negative beings. So if you are going to try any hocus pocus with this full moon, talking to Amelie may not be a bad idea, given the situation of the world at the moment. Negative astral influences? Well, let's use the by now tiresome term of fake news. We've already seen what damage fake news can do. And infectious diseases. I wonder what's going on in the world that could relate to that. But apparently I can't say such things on YouTube. So I won't mention even the V word, never mind, the C word. Not that it makes the slightest bit of difference to me anyway, because is I am not yet monetized. But, you know, I'd like people to see the readings that follow this. Now, that is pretty much all that I'm wanting to talk about with the new moon, full moon. Apart from new moon, yes. Now, Scorpio transformation. And there was an aspect between the recent, the last new moon, the Aries new moon, and Pluto, which was instigating transformation energies. You know what I was saying about the transformation with the harmonic convergence Pluto? There's that sense of revealing, unveiling, that deeper secrets, deeper truths, deeper realities, stripping things away. Scorpio is also the sign of death and transformation. It is the death card in the tarot. So, as I say, the death card in the tarot is not scary because if you get a job, it's the death of poverty. If you get a relationship, it's a death of loneliness. You know, so death is not necessarily bad, but you're watching a tarot reading anyway. So, apart from I'm not using tarot this, well, I am a bit. So you know this already. But there was transformation that was triggered by that Aries new moon. Not even triggered as in the seed was sown, but triggered as in, right, here is the energy to start it. Here, we seem to be clearing all the crap out that we found that's in the way of this transformation. It's like deciding to redecorate your kitchen and then you open a cupboard and find that you hadn't emptied it after all, and you need to empty this cupboard before you can do the next bit of work. So this full moon promises to be really, really useful and dramatic. Like I say, we're just coming off that Venus-Uranus conjunction, so I think that may be adding a little bit of spice into our lives one way or another. So, with no further ado, I don't think I've got anything more to add, and I'm trying to cut down these intros since we're doing the live streams. Yeah, the live stream may be shorter. I've said that already, haven't I? So, like, share, subscribe, and I'll bring up your cards. So, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, whichever. Now, if you've watched these Gods at Play readings before, then you know that this top row represents the masks that the Archons wear as they try to press you down, keep you away from your divinity, your higher self, your relationship with God, your most beautiful future, whichever way you want to look at it. And this bottom row represents the actual gods themselves trying to lift you up, trying to reconnect you with the divine. Now, working against you, we have Archons dressed as Ra with power, the Morai with destiny, Hathor with contentment, Shilanagig with, well, it says desperation here, but I want you to bear in mind that Shilanagig is a kingmaker, and then Laertes with faithfulness. The gods that are working on your side are far more interesting, however, because we have Vulcan with inventiveness, Hemera with rebirth, Hera with commitment, Fortuna with fate. Bear in mind she's the Roman goddess of chance. And Nike with victory. So there is something here, just on Fortuna alone being there, you are being asked to take a chance on. Now, I didn't shuffle these during the shuffle video, so let me just do that. As I want to say that what I see as the archontic efforts or energies in this reading is that there is something that you are being offered that will elevate your status somehow. It gives you greater power, greater voice, greater responsibility, greater something. This is presented to you as common sense. Well, like being asked to take over the family business because your parents are retiring. That sort of, it is only a natural progression. Of course, you would be taking this over. Why wouldn't you? And that's what's presented to you. Because certainly with Sheila Nagig here, as bear in mind that she is a kingmaker. She imparts royalty to, you don't need to know all the ins and outs of that. Look her up on Wikipedia when the kids aren't around. But it is your role to take, it is your destiny to take this role. It's a natural progression to take this role. Why wouldn't you do it? Are you not faithful? However, I don't think you should either, one, take that role, or two, take that role in the manner that it is presented to you. Because I'm not going to tell you to, stuff the family business and run away to New York or Las Vegas or wherever, because you might want to do it. But even if you do, I think now's maybe not the time, since this archontic row is so eager for you to do that. They want, you will be happy, they are saying. You need to remember where your loyalties are, they are saying. We can make a king of you. We are granting you power. It is only natural that you head in this direction. And it's like, nah, there's another way of doing it. And that's what I'm getting with Vulcan, with the inventiveness here, especially with Hemera with Rebirth. I'm not saying that you don't make the commitment, Hera here with commitment, but you're making a commitment to do it a different way, or to do it your way, to take a chance, which is what Fortuna is saying. Because Nike at the end of here is saying you will have victory if you take the chance. But you've got work to do. Two cards came out of the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, and these aren't opposing one another like all these other cards are. We have Menadel, who was on one of the recent full moons this year, I think, representing inner and outer work. And then Achaya, who was in a full moon last year, probably was in the full moon charts. I can't remember if Achaya actually had the moon in those charts, but made an appearance. Saying patience. So there's a chance that you are wanting to take here that... I was very drawn when I drew the card Fortuna to this more autumn wintry side, the dull side. She walks half in summer, half in winter, and I believe that there may be something that you are planning to do that initially looks as if, that's not going to pan out. It's not going to get the rewards. Maybe I should take this off. No, stick to your guns on this one. Definitely stick to your guns, because you do have the inventiveness. Bear in mind, Vulcan here, with representing inventiveness, could be representing Uranus in your sign and all the crazy that Uranus brings to your sign and to your fixed energies. I think I've already done this, haven't I? Right, let's have a look what the tarot have got to add to it. But it's such a clear message, Taurus. Do not... so this offer of power, very much it's falling on your shoulders. We have the Hermit here, so... Right... Yeah, it seems to me like there's a path that's being offered to you. This is the one I'm saying don't go for, by the way. It's being offered to you that once you set foot on it, that's it for a good long while. It's like setting foot onto a moving walkway. And I don't just mean a moving walkway in your local airport. I mean one of those moving walkways in a sci-fi film that the minute you put your foot on it, you're like, and gone, heading in whatever direction that you're heading in. Not quite Stargate, but that would probably be the right vibe. Now this is beautiful. You can keep. So if this is, say, we've got that family business, for example, that are you not loyal to us? Why won't you take this role on board? You have. I don't think you're necessarily going to break your commitment to this person if it's, as I just said in the last reading, the archons can work like any good tyrant and conspirator, hide the lies in an ocean of truth. And it's the archons expressing themselves in the events. So if there is a member of the family, a member of the workforce, a friend or what have you, saying it's your turn to take over this, because why wouldn't it be you? You can keep that commitment, but it has to be balanced, indicating it has to be balanced with something else. That something else is that inventive role where you are transforming yourself. And, oh, I see. So you're transforming yourself and you are transforming the nature of the offer that is given to you. So you can take that offer, but only your way. That I think that's the best way to put it. Only your way, in a way where you set things right. You change everything. So if you are taking over the family business, to carry on with that metaphor, then you're rebranding, new name, new little bags to, for your shop, new logo, new website, new services, which are not so divorced from what was happening before, but it's taking it to another level or a different level. So you need to be able to say, yeah, this is if I do this is my way of doing it. And more to the point, I'm feeling that that's more of a personal home, not home, but closer to home thing. So if you take this offer, you cannot allow it to take over, to take all of your time. But more to the point is, I don't think you're going to take that offer as it stands. Not just yet. Achaya says, here, patience, take that chance, have that rebirth that you're planning. It will end up good. Yes, it will end up good. It'll also end up with you having the rebirth promised here by Hemera in a secure fashion, in a way that you have the correct resources that you need and that you need to survive. But with the Nine of Pentacles, I am, for once, I don't always get this with the Nine of Pentacles, although I know it's what it's about, that, yeah, you're right, you're on your own. But you was on your own with this offer anyway. Look at here, Ra is clarified by the Hermit. And it's almost like someone is trying to show you, here is your inner light. And here you go, no, 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 no. Here is my inner light. And I'm going to do this my way. So maybe you are taking over the family business. But if you are, you're only doing it part-time because you're doing something else at the same time. Or maybe you take this role, but you do it your way, not the way that is prescribed for you. Not the way is you don't take over and then you've got somebody going, oh no, we don't do it like that. We do it this way. We've always done it this way, and we're going to continue doing it in this way. Well, no, I'm sorry. If you're in charge now, you'll do it your way. Or stuff the offer and have this transformation all of your own. But either way, it's not often that I say take what resonates, but I am seeing all three sort of storylines there. It could go either way. It could go try the way. But yeah, remember who you're loyal to. We can make a king of you. this is your destiny to take this role, look at how it increases your power. As with all stories on the Archontic Row, it's a trap. It takes over too much of your life. That's a lot. That's all you get in Taurus. So hit the like button if this has been useful for you, or share the video, or both. Please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget there's that link for the Facebook group down there. I'll be live streaming, assuming I can still talk because I'm having some work done, on Saturday night with astrologer David Fisher for a more astrology based look at the full moon. Other than that, see you soon. Cheers.